So, I've shared a few stories about my trip to Guatemala. And I'm going to finish that whole vignette another time, but tonight is another episode in Miscellaneous Memories from Susan. Yeah. So, that trip to Guatemala, well, it was an amazing opportunity. The one thing that it caused a problem with was when I came home from the trip. Now, granted, I just graduated high school, so this was the summer between high school and college. Well, by the time I got home from Guatemala, it was almost July. It was July. And I only really had a couple of months, less than a couple of months, before I had to report to college for band camp. But I still needed to find a job. Of course, all the summer jobs, decent summer jobs anyways, were taken. I went every place I could think. I filled out applications every place in town I could come across. Nobody had any openings because they'd already hired all of their summer help. So the last place that I went, the local newspaper, they actually said, sure, you can come work for us. Show up here on Saturday night at like 11:30 or midnight. What? Yeah, show up at the newspaper at like midnight and you can start this Saturday. Oh boy. So I showed up. They told me to pack a lunch, something to eat, whatever. So the job was stuffing the Sunday issue of the newspaper. Yes. So every day we have a daily newspaper, but the Sunday paper was always bigger than the rest. And why was it bigger than the rest? Because it was stuffed with advertisements. So the paper itself was, the run was finished in plenty of time, but all of the ads had to run the second time. So the ads didn't finish printing until Saturday night, which meant that the newspapers had already been printed and folded and stacked, and now the advertisements had to be stuffed inside the paper. So there I was with, a dozen other people standing in front of a conveyor belt with stacks of newspapers. So the job, this is big training, open the newspaper, grab a stack of advertisements, put them in, fold the paper over, bring up the stuffed paper and put it in a new stack. Lift up the paper, grab a stack of advertisements, stuff them in, fold the paper, grab the stuffed paper, put it in a pile. Yes, for 6 hours we did that until it was done. So it kind of depended upon how fast the entire group did, because we had to stack them, then we had to tie them and get them ready for the newspaper delivery people. Yeah, back then it was, kids on bicycles still. For the delivery people to pick up their stacks of paper to deliver on Sunday morning. We got one break the entire time. I think we got like a 15 or 20 minute break halfway through the paper stuffing process, however many papers we had to stuff. And we had, during that 15 or 20 minute break, we were to use the restroom and get our snack, get something to drink, and then be back on the line, standing in our position in our assigned spot to grab a newspaper, open the newspaper, stuff it without, you get the picture. Oh my word. And I think that job paid, if I'm not mistaken, for those 6 hours of labor, I'm thinking it was $15 for the night. So I would get off work at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock, depending on how long it took. And I think it was a flat rate. We got paid the same amount no matter how many papers there were, or how long it took us to do it. It was ridiculous. But hey, it was a job, and it gave me a little bit of pocket money to get through the summer and prepare for the fall. So anyways, I would get home from this exciting job just in time to get something to eat, take a shower, and get ready for church, where I would sit and desperately try to stay awake in church. And then I would come home from church and have dinner with my family and try to take a short nap, because if I really laid down to sleep, I would never get to sleep that night. So this was what I did every Saturday night for the month and a half, 2 months after the Guatemala trip and before heading off to college. What an exciting job. Yeah. So if nothing else, that reinvigorated me into I've got to do something to get a good job in the future. And I did. But anyways, it was a character building experience. And I had several of those types of character building experience jobs, but none as boring as that one. But thankful that I had a job, thankful that I found something at least, even if it was only one night a week. Oh well, that gave me the summer to read and get ready for college. So I guess there was a silver lining in that cloud. Lucy? You got a close-up of Lucy's snout, aren't you lucky? Anyways, I hope you all have a good night. And you didn't get too much snow last night. We just got a dusting. Not much to speak of. And you have a wonderful week ahead of you. Take care. And God bless.